Our board chair, Steve Smith. Board member or trustee, Michele Castro. See Lisa Boyd yet. I know she's coming, but she's probably not here yet, or maybe she's stuck. And then Therese Pasquire is also not able to come tonight. So, thank you. So, this is kind of surreal for a lot of us in this room, but here we are. So, let's try to have some fun. And today's agenda will include a video about Michele's career here, some comments from moi. Janio Shahara will join the podium after me, and then we're going to have one of our former students, Lauren Adler, come and talk also. Michele's going to say just a few brief comments. Everyone will have their timers out. And then we're going to open it up for comments from the floor if people would like to say anything. So with that, I'm going to have Jim roll the video. We'll get started.
Michele Johnson's roots in the community run deep. Born and raised on the southeast side, she is a proud alumna of Lincoln High School. Before Title IX even existed and girls received much support in school athletics, Michele played softball and basketball through Metro Parks, Tacoma. Her teams won many championships in Tacoma, and those who know Michele may say she could just have lived. She continued to play ball long into adulthood. Michele was the first and only member of her family to attend college, earning her bachelor's and master's at Washington State University and her PhD from the University of Oregon. Michele joined Pierce College in 1978, teaching criminal justice and sociology until 1993. Her commitment to racial, social, and economic justice has framed her work to this day.
So I came out and I was just so excited to see that they had a criminal justice program. My first quarter in school, there was this young, vivacious, energetic woman named Professor Johnson, Michele Johnson. And I thought, oh my goodness, look at her. She's so totally awesome. She asked me and a couple of other girls that were in the program, we were definitely in the minority, what our academic pursuits were and what our career pursuits were. And I told her, well, I want to be an FBI agent or some type of federal agent, but I've been told that it's a pipe dream or it's probably not possible for me to do this. And so she said, well, I think you've been misinformed. So she helped me research, what it would take. But it was Michele who said, as a woman and as a woman of color from East Tacoma, you can do this. Just because no one has ever done it before, there has to be a first, but you must prepare yourself. You have to be better to pave the way for those to come behind you. And I just believed in her. She had a way about her of making me believe that what she was saying was true, because she was a first in her field.
From 1979 to 1984, Michele coached the women's softball and basketball teams. Under her leadership, Fort Steilacoom Community College's softball team won the NWAC championship for the first and only time. The team was the college's first to be inducted in both the Pierce College Athletics Hall of Fame and the NWAC Hall of Fame. In honor of her efforts, Michele won Coach of the Year. From 1993 to 1999, Michele served as Executive Dean of Workforce and Professional Technical Education, then as Executive Dean of Instruction, promoting outcomes-based teaching and learning, skill and career development, and lifelong learning. From 1999 to 2005, Michele served as president of the Fort Steilacoom campus, creating a new facilities master plan that resulted in new buildings to support innovative teaching and learning, including the student-supported health education center that opened in 2007. Michele's impact extends far beyond our campuses. She has served on many boards, including the Tacoma-Pierce County Chamber of Commerce, Economic Development Board, and Tacoma's Rotary 8, just to name a few. Her collaborative leadership style makes her a welcome addition to organizations throughout the community. In 2005, Michele officially took the helm of the Pierce College District as Chancellor and CEO. In her relentless pursuit of mission, she continued the development and growth of both campuses and JBLM. Under her leadership, the college has achieved numerous successes and awards, including our #1 ranking in the nation by the Military Times for 2-year colleges serving veterans and military families, and our honor of twice being ranked in the top 10 community colleges in the nation by the prestigious Aspen Institute. In 2016, Michele also received the Association of Community College Trustees Pacific Region Chief Executive Officer Award. Pierce College joined Achieving the Dream in 2012 and has experienced a number of successes with the support of our ATD leadership and data coaches over the years. ATD President and CEO Karen Stout had this to say about Michele's leadership and Pierce College.
Pierce College has had extraordinary influence on the Achieving the Dream network, not just because they progressed from being a leader college to a leader college of distinction to a Leah Meyer Alston Award winner, but because of the ways that Pierce has engaged the work of Achieving the Dream with Chancellor Johnson's leadership and influence. Pierce was one of the first colleges to pilot our institutional capacity assessment work and to use it in creative ways. You've been involved in guided pathways in the Racial Equity Leadership Academy, inaugural cohort, and you've always sent a fabulous team to Dream. Chancellor Johnson's influence on panels and in sidebar conversations with me and others have influenced the way the Achieving the Dream framework has evolved. Chancellor Johnson is not afraid to take risks and make bold moves that will work for students, but at the same time, she cares about the faculty and the employees at Pierce and invests in the success of everyone around her.
In the midst of this important work, Michele always made time to have fun at college events, from our annual employee recognition events to Winterfest celebrations and beyond. Her passion for serving students and expanding opportunities also led her to work closely with our International Education Department, traveling around the world to develop relationships with educational agencies throughout Asia. It's no doubt Pierce College students, staff, and faculty recognize the impact Michele Johnson has had on so many lives in this community. We are not the only ones, and her impact has been recognized throughout the community. In response to the news of Michele's impending retirement, U.S. Representative Derek Kilmer read a proclamation in honor of Michele's career, which was entered into the congressional record. Let's have a look at what he said.
Hey folks, Derek Kilmer here. I had the honor of presenting this statement into the congressional record to congratulate Dr. Johnson on her retirement. Here's what it says. It says, Madam Speaker, I rise today to extend my sincere congratulations and gratitude to Dr. Michele L. Johnson on her retirement from Pierce College. Throughout her 45 years at Pierce College, Dr. Johnson has been a faculty member, collegiate coach, executive dean, campus president, and for the last 18 years, chancellor and CEO. Her leadership has served students, Pierce College employees, and the statewide community and technical college system. In her current role, Dr. Johnson leads 2 colleges and an off-campus site at Joint Base Lewis McChord, and oversees 2 campus presidents and a district administration. Her dedication to student success and innovative leadership promotes Pierce College's mission to create quality educational opportunities for a diverse community of learners to thrive in an evolving world. Dr. Johnson has consistently been committed to the word community in community college, developing partnerships that have made our region stronger and that have served as a model for collaboration. Under her leadership, Pierce College has received national awards, including recognition for serving veterans and community college excellence. Speaking personally, I've been honored to consider Dr. Johnson a partner and a friend. I'm grateful for all that she has done to create opportunities for students in our region and to improve higher education throughout our state. Madam Speaker, members of Congress, please join me in congratulating Dr. Michele Johnson on her retirement. So that's what the congressional record statement says. Michele, I just want to say congratulations to you on your retirement. I want to thank you. Going back before my time in public service, when I worked at the Economic Development Board, you were a terrific partner. When I served in the state legislature and chaired higher ed, you were a terrific partner. And for the last several years since I've been in Congress, you've been an amazing partner. You're a difference maker. There are more people with more opportunity because of you. So thank you for that, and best wishes.
The Board of Trustees recently showed their appreciation for Michele by recognizing her as Chancellor Emeritus of Pierce College. The board also announced that we will be naming both the Fort Steilacoom Gymnasium and the future Puyallup STEM building after Dr. Michele L. Johnson. It is with great honor and respect that we give a heartfelt thank you for all you've done for us in the greater community. We appreciate you and wish you all the best in your retirement. Thank you, Michele.
Wow, not much to say after that, right? I'm really honored and humbled to be up here today in honor of Dr. Michele Johnson. Michele, Chance, Energizer Bunny, walking pal, fellow art lover and traveler, competitor, recently more flippant, most importantly, my friend. I'm humbled to be a part of an organization and board, and I have to say this, that not only puts students first, but are all working on a path to make this institution an anti-racist one. Big words, right? Words are great, but the college is actively doing the work to make things happen, doing things to help reach the goal. Changes in pedagogies and teaching methods, working to break barriers for entry, changes to our organizational structure, to our tenure process, a new cohort of employees, all on board, providing training for all Pierce employees, including us board members, where we learn our own built-in biases and how we are perceived. Powerful, hard, and serious, and reflective work. Some people won't and don't like this, and they will criticize us. Others will cheer us. But know that we do this to raise up those students who have been marginalized for too long. We want to ensure that every student who comes through these doors feels empowered, supported, cared for, and safe, helping them reach their dreams and goals. As our wise board member, Lisa Boyd, has said before, we are not, I repeat, not, taking anything away from non-marginalized students. They can still expect the same high level of education Pierce is known for. I've only got 20 more pages left. Promise. When we help those less fortunate, everyone wins. And everyone is raised up. All students win. Our communities win. Pierce College wins. We like winning. Michele really likes winning. We're on this journey, and I mentioned this because of Michele's leadership, her vision, her commitment to our students, her tenacity, her vision, and her ability to hire and inspire good people, and her willingness to tackle the tough issues we face. Throughout the time I've known Michele, both as a friend and as a board member, I witnessed her lead her life with unwavering honesty and integrity, with purpose, transparency, a fierce competitive side, and a grasp of the big picture. Michele gets it. She just gets it. She loves Pierce. She's dedicated her life to it and its students, and all of us associated have benefited and grown from working with her. I know I have. I have gained so much from this college. I know a lot more than I've given. And I'll never regret being on this board. There have been many successes and awards here, both locally and nationally, yet Michele hasn't done it for the accolades. She's done it for the college and for the students, and that's just her style. She's leaving big shoes to fill, but we're confident that her successor, our very own extremely capable Dr. Julie White, will lead us to new wins and steer this ship in the right direction. Michele laid the groundwork for us to succeed, and for that, we're going to be forever grateful. We will miss her, for sure, but I know that her presence will be felt for a long time. The two new buildings just mentioned in the video will remind us of her daily. She does leave behind a legacy of excellence. I leave you today with a couple of quotes appropriate for Michele's leadership and her pending retirement. The first, whatever comes my way, I address it with a willingness to learn, to grow, and to bring in leadership that can inspire others to do the same. And the second is, retirement may be ending, a closing, may be an ending, a closing, but it's also a new beginning. And I know for Michele, that's true. Michele, here's what I hope for you personally. Fulfillment in whatever you decide to do. Peace in knowing you gave it your all here at Pierce. Happiness and joy as you explore new places and meet new people on the way. And a knowledge that you are deeply loved. Thank you. Welcome, Jan.
Well, thanks, Brett. Thank you, Brett. This is why I love Pierce College. So I am very pleased to be here to say a few words about Michele in honor of her retirement. So Michele and I, some of you know this story, but Michele and I met 44 years ago here at Pierce College, which was then called Fort Steilacoom Community College. And we started at about the same time, not exactly the same month, but almost the same month. And she is a faculty member and me as the Minority Affairs Director, fresh out of graduate school. So Minority Affairs Director is what we now call the diversity officers for the colleges. So it was my job to connect with students of color at the college, and many had left the military in Pierce County and majored in criminal justice. So I loved this little video clip with Fran Davis in it, because that was exactly one of the things that I was going to talk about, because there were many other students like Fran. And so because it was my job to connect with the students of color at the college, I quickly learned that Michele was a very good teacher, because the students all talk to each other about, and they give each other advice about who to take classes from and who not to take classes from. So they talked about how much they learned from her, what a great teacher and mentor she was, and how fair she was. So that was the thing that the quality that came up over and over again, was her fairness and how much she cared about student success. So I grew to understand how true this is in getting to know Michele as a colleague. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about here is her contribution to the college system as a whole. So obviously, so Michele is highly regarded as by her peers in the college system, the presidents and the chancellors. The presidents elect their own leaders and appoint committee chairs. And so I I went back into the history to see what committees Michele had chaired. And I think, Michele, you've chaired almost every standing committee in WAC, with the exception of maybe one, maybe the Capital Committee you did not chair. She chaired the standing committees for HR and education services, and I think that was one of the places where you and I intersected after I went to the state board, because I was responsible for staffing the education committee, and we worked very closely together that year. Michele was president of the President's Group in 2010. Some people describe that job as herding cats, but she did an excellent job of setting a tone of people really listening to each other with respect, and understanding that the diversity of opinions and perspectives was valued, and things that we need to consider in making good decisions on behalf of the college system. You were chair of the legislative committee twice, and also chair of the technology committee twice, 2 years in a row. And that was during the time when we were planning, implementing, and making financing decisions for CTC Link. So I know CTC Link has been just a little bit controversial in the college system, but I think that you were chair twice because of your steady hand and because we needed that voice of reason and to try to push through some of these really big, important decisions about the new IT system for the colleges. So I really appreciated you being in that role. And later on, when I was executive director, I could say, it's not my fault. C2C Link is not my fault. So you were also chair of the operating budget committee. And I think that was when we were implementing the new allocation formula, which was another area of controversy for the college system. We did not have a bigger pie. This was about reshuffling how we split up the pie among the 34 community and technical colleges. So it was not an easy time to be chairing the operating budget committee, but Michele was selected because she has a reputation for fairness and honesty and integrity, and she was exactly the right person to chair the group, that group at that time. So, so in addition to all of that, in my opinion, Michelle's, your greatest contribution to the college system has been moving student success efforts forward statewide through guided pathways and equity work. So, and that's been mentioned multiple times already. But for those of you who may not know this, Pierce College was selected to be one of the 5 pilot colleges funded by a private foundation to implement guided pathways. And we tackled this student success effort to redesign the ways that colleges serve students, not only to double our completion rates, but to eliminate equity gaps at the same time. And no other state community college system in the country was doing those two things simultaneously in an integrated way. So under Michelle's leadership, Pierce College embraced guided pathways. You doubled your completion rates, and you substantially reduced equity gaps, and which is a huge, huge accomplishment in and of itself. And I know you didn't do it yourself, and that there are many, many, many people in this room who participated in that achievement. So the part that impacted the college system as a whole was that Pierce served as our poster child and major spokesperson to the governor and to the state legislature about what is possible around student success and redesigning how we serve students to have a better result. And so the result of that work of Pierce College and others was a $74 million biennial investment. Is that the right millions? 74, Sheree? Biennial investment in guided pathways for the college system. That's a big number, isn't it? $74 million, which has allowed all 34 colleges to implement equitable student success strategies for all of our students. So that investment is impacting not only thousands of students here at Pierce College, but tens of thousands of students every year all across the state. And student completions are increasing everywhere because of it. So on a personal note, I'll just end with a couple of other thoughts. So I want to express my appreciation to you, Michele, for your steadfast support for me in my leadership. And I feel like we grew up in the college system together. When I went to work at the state board, Michele, you were a dean, so it was fun to hear this timeline of your moving up in your career. And when I became head of the education division at the state board, you became the vice president for instruction and then campus president here at Fort Steilacoom. And then 6 years ago, Michele helped me get the job as executive director at the state board. And you have always been one of my go-to confidants. So you may not know this, but I called you more than I did most of the other presidents. Of the other presidents in the room. So whenever I wanted to test an idea or to try out a strategy or to try to figure out how to move forward to solve a gnarly problem, I would call Michele. And so I would like to close by saying thank you to you, Michele, not only for your leadership here at Pierce College, but for making the entire community and technical college system better, a better, more equitable place for all Washingtonians. And I will always value you as a colleague and especially as my friend. So best wishes to you in your retirement in this next chapter. Thank you.
Thank you. I knew this day was going to come at some point. I'm overwhelmed. I appreciate, Brett, all of your words. I mean, I'm just, I look out here and there are so many of you that have had such an incredible impact on my life. I want to start with my sister, Joanne. There are only two left in our family. As you heard, we grew up in Tacoma, and we, I think one of the things that we both bring with us is, from our mom in particular, was to really work hard and to always show up. And I can't tell you that Joanne is one of the hardest workers that I know. And I love and respect you very much. I'm so glad you're here. Students are just terrific, and I know, do we have students in here? I can't see. We had Gael was here earlier, our student body president. But I want to talk about a couple of students I have because they're here. You already met Fran, who's the president of our foundation. Thank you, Fran, for your leadership and being a trailblazer.
My pleasure.
And you did exactly what you needed to. You were excellent, and you paved the way for so many women and so many women of color. Thank you, glad you're here. You saw the athletes in some of the pictures here. And I have three. Where's Michele? So Michele Andrews was a student of mine and a criminal justice student, and she is a distinguished alum of Pierce College. She actually came back to work here after being in criminal justice, and now is the vice president of instruction at South Puget Sound. So Michele, it's great to have you back. A couple characters right over there. Also in that first year that I coached, Michele played softball. So Pat Love, now for many of you, Pat needs no introduction. And so I just want you to know the journey that I have been on. Think of Pat at 18. Unfettered. Okay? Pat was also a criminal justice student and went on to be an assistant warden in a prison. And has now come back, and she worked at Pierce College also, came back to our system and heads up the corrections programs for the state board. So they cycled through. There's this pattern here, right?
I am who I am.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
An
And
outstanding professional.
see, exactly. This is what I put up with. Yeah. So if you have a chance to talk to Pat later, don't believe anything she said. I love you, Pat. Good to be back. Love you too, Michele. Next to Pat is Tammy Campbell, also a criminal justice student and an amazing athlete. And so you saw some of those pictures, and Tammy played on the championship team. She was the championship team. She's the most valuable player. She played 3 sports, volleyball, basketball, and softball, and was a leader in all of those, and got the MVP of the conference championship on that Hall of Fame team, and went on and had a 33-year career with the Department of Corrections. That's obviously smarter than I, because she's already been retired. So Tammy, it's great to have you, and love you too. These are just incredible individuals who who helped me be who I am. You know, it's how you learn is when you are teaching and being part of this dynamic work at Pierce College. I'm the one that feels so blessed for the time that I have been here. When I came here at 25, and so put the years together, I was 70 on Sunday. And as I think about it, I would have never thought this is where I would have been all this time. And the reason I have stayed is because it's exactly where I have supposed to have been, because of all of you, because of who we are and what we serve. And you know, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to have their values and their work aligned as closely as I have been able to here, because we really truly commit ourselves to students, and they have to us as well. I also look around, you always hate naming individuals. We also have another distinguished alum, Natalie Mayer, who is also on our foundation.
I'm gonna get you.
You can come get me. We have another distinguished alum, Lori Griffin, who is our Dean of Transitional Ed, also came back to the college. We have a lot of students who have come and now work for us. Jonathan, where's Jonathan Harris? Another distinguished alum, military man who served our country and came and settled in this community and has served us and also on our foundation. Next to Jonathan is Angie Condon, who is a former trustee and also on our foundation. It's important having individuals come back and serve us. Is Don Meyer still here? Did he leave? Don Meyer was a trustee, a longtime trustee, and I'm grateful because he hired me to be the chancellor. So I'm grateful for that. We have presidential colleagues. Jan talked about. Jan, you have been such a leader in our system, and it has always been a joy to work with you. I always make this kind of, Jan served the presidents. Have you ever been in a room of a lot of presidents? Yeah. And Jan was in this role for a long time before she was the executive director. She would be supporting our presidents' meetings, presidents and chancellors, and she'd be asked some really stupid thing. And you know, and she would just take a deep breath. She'd go, okay. And the other one was, well, you know, and she would just hold it together. And I never knew what was going on inside her head, I could just imagine. But professional extraordinaire, thank you for being here and starting at Pierce College. And her daughter is a Pierce alum and was actually in our veterinary technology program. And we have this new beautiful building that you're going to come back and still see, right? You're going to relay on the back and see that. As I look around, I see folks that have, I'm missing people I know. Troy Halliday, State Board, also was Pierce College for our VP for admin. I can't see back Deb Gilchrist. Deb, welcome back. Our Vice President for Learning Success. How many years, Deb? 30 years. Brian Benedetti, I saw you. Where are you? 38 years, just retired. Did Brian leave? These are folks that come back to see us and spend time with us. Jeff Williams on our foundation, thank you for being here. You know, we had a gala last month. Yes, last month. Our goal was to raise $550,000 for students to play off the 55 years of the college. And we've raised to date $880,000, Miriam? $882,000. And our goal is $1 million. And I am a development director. You too can give. There is an opportunity. Did I do that well, Miriam? Let me look around and see. Seeing other people here. Kim Tanaka from the State Board, thank you for leading the trustees. I always turn to Kim because, trustees are really, really important, and we have a great board. And you've already met Brett, Clemencia, and Steve, and Angie, who was before. They are the governing body. They're appointed by the governor. And I have been so fortunate to work with an amazing board. They are amazing. And you know why they're amazing is because they know their role, and they do it well. And they know that their role is to ensure that we meet our mission. And Lauren already shared our mission, and so did Representative Kilmer. And I'm going to hang on to that for a minute. And they are so careful in making certain that as we look at our data and we identify what it is that we do, that we're really focused on the mission. And so I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for being amazing individuals. And Clemencia is relatively new to the board, just finished a year. Steve's been in his 11th, and Brett told you he's in his 10th. So, and Angie served for 10. Thank you all for what you've done. My own executive team, I see Sylvia, our VP, our admin. Also, thank you. Also a distinguished alum of Pierce College, a student who started with 16 years of age, and she's still here. Matt Campbell, our interim president at Puyallup. You heard Julie White, our new chancellor. Julie knows not until when, Julie?
December 31st.
I still have 31 days. I think Holly Gorski, our VP for HR, is back there. I saw Andrew earlier. Is Andrew Glass still here, our CIO?
He had to go.
And I saw Ilder. Is Ilder?
He had to go as well.
And too, our vice president for learning and student success here at Fort Silicon. And Charlie Parker, in the same role in Puyallup, is visiting family, so he's not here.
Joanne.
There's Joanne Beria, our vice president for workforce, professional and technical education. All that whole long line. Joanne does all of our workforce programs.
Jay Marie.
Where's Jay Marie? There's Jay Marie. Okay, so Jay Marie is our Director of Marketing and Communications, new in that role.
Mike Work.
And there's Mike Borg. Okay, so, all right, so now, did I miss anybody? I can't see out there. You heard that we work with presidents. I've worked with 151 presidents. It's a lot of presidents. Those are just since I was at WAC. Those aren't the ones I worked with at Pierce College. And so some are here today, and I'm really glad that you're here. So first, I'm going to start with Marty Cavalluzzi, who is now the president of Liberty. King, who is the president at Everett, Joyce Loveday, our colleague up the road at Clover Park, Technical Park. Am I missing anybody? Susie Russell Hall, thank you for being here, a longtime member of the foundation, an artist extraordinaire, and is now left the foundation, but had many, many years of commitment to us. All of you who have retired from Pierce College, see Ruth Ann is back, and I saw Julie earlier, Julie Anderson. I saw Linda Busby, or all of you folks. Thank you for coming back.
Mark.
Oh, Mark Haskins was in our military programs. I saw where's John McMahon? He ran the military programs as well. I could just keep naming all of you. What do I want? Because Brett said brief.
Well, this is to me.
31 days, I can do what I want. I want to just say that as Brett, your words were really amazing in terms of where we are as a country, in a position of what we need to be thinking about. How is it that we How is it that we really embrace both difference and sameness? You know, sometimes people have a really difficult time holding two things that are opposites at the same time. And when individuals can't do that, it pushes us into these directions where we don't talk to each other. And we just dig into where we are and then we don't listen. And more than ever, we need to think about the ways in which we are the same and different. And how we think about the ways in which systems, and I've been a victim of that system, of oppression, of what happens around gender and sexual orientation and race and ethnicity and religion and ability and all the other ways that systems have disadvantaged individuals. And that we think about, oh, I made it, I worked really hard. I did work hard. I didn't make it alone. And there's so many people in our lives that make a difference, and as educators, that is our role. Our role is to make a difference and to think about the ways in which we don't take our tagline and our vision, the possibilities realized, lightly. Our goal is that every student here should realize their possibilities and that we need to open the doors for them, but not to do it for them because we don't want to enable people either. Individuals aren't really victims. They only re-victimize them. And so the goal is for how do we help empower or let them gain their own power and their own agency and their own voice, and then to take it forward for themselves and for all the people around them. We know that we change families, we change communities because our individual students, those of you who are here, and I don't want to exclude anybody else, I mean, I should have never started names because I could go through and start saying all the ways in which you're connected to me personally and to Pierce College. And I just want to say thank you for all of that. We have other employees here and visitors. But you know, these are really difficult times. I think about the words of, some of you know Erin Jones. We've had Erin Jones, she's an educator who's come to us a couple of times and has done some work. And she has this saying that I just really love and embrace because I think it's so important. And she says that she wants you really to think about it as you lift people in and up to the best versions of themselves. To invite people in and up to the best versions of themselves, instead of down and out to blame and shame. It is time for us to stop calling people out into blame and shame. And it's the time to call them in to the best versions of themselves. And that's really what we're about. So when you have that person that is different from you or you disagree with, the question becomes is, why? And what is that about and what can I learn from that? I have learned as much I know from my students and from my colleagues than I have given. I know that. I know that I've learned a lot from individuals and they have this incredible opportunity. But more than ever, our system will become under attack. There are questions of the value of education which just blows me away. My life has been transformed by education. And so it's hard to conceive of a place in which we think that education doesn't have value. But what that really means for us is that we have to work harder to make certain that it does have value, that we can't stay stuck in the ways that we have done things, that we need to be able to move and change and to think about the ways that we work together. You know, last week we had our board meeting, and one of the things that I shared is that, you know, you saw this. I've been an athlete. I've always played sports, but I've always played team sports. And that is really significant for me because as a member of a team, I learned to play my position and I let you play yours and back you up when I need to. Because if I'm out of position and I'm in yours, I can't do my work. And so the piece about this is how do we really do this better together? And I'm really confident that at Pierce College you will continue this work, and I'm confident about the system, our 34 colleges, that you will do well, that you will do this together. I know we have other state board people here, Cherie, and who led the the operating budget committee, and it was a joy to work with you that time. Arlen, and our work with the legislature is so critically important. It's going to become more important that we think about stepping into that space. Anyway, I know the snow's out there, you got food to eat. I want you, though, to do something we did when we achieved the Leo Meyer Austin Award, which is Achieving the Dream's most significant award for student success. In 2010, we started a journey, and I wear this bracelet, people know that, and it says Committed to Student Success. And in 2010, we looked at our data, and it sucked. Is that blunt enough? And we said, we have to do better. And so we got these for folks, and they were upset because I told them that we needed to be committed to student success. That's what it says on here. They said, well, I am committed to student success. Well, not if you look at our data. Not if you look at what's happening. And so we went to work on that, and we joined Achieving the Dream, a national organization. You heard Karen Stout. And we took it to heart, and we learned from a lot of colleges, and we hope that we taught some colleges some things as well. And the day that we were awarded the Leo Meyer Austin for student success, we had about 35 of us and our trustees in San Francisco. And we're on a stage like this, and you saw the one picture, about 35 of us. And as I started to say that we're mission-driven, and I started to say our mission, everybody on the stage started saying it with me. So those of you who are Pierce College folks, if you are Pierce College and you know our mission, that's fantastic. If you are Pierce College folks and you don't know our mission, not so fantastic. But we're going to do it together, right? Because it's so important that it's in this space, and it drives the next direction, the continuation of Julie, relentless pursuit of mission. And here it is. Create quality educational opportunities for a diverse community of learners to thrive in an evolving world. 3 things: quality education, diverse community of learners, to thrive. To thrive. Thank you. I'm going to really miss this place. So thank you very much.